Well, welcome back everyone to Sigil Bearer's Tavern of Thoughts. It is just me today. I'm just going to be talking about some of my thoughts actually on Souls games in general and just my experience with them. I do apologize if you can hear my fiance in the background. She's currently playing Destiny 2 with her brother and a friend of ours. So you might occasionally hear her. I apologize in advance. But, anyways. Yeah, so today I wanted to talk about my experiences and all that at, Souls-like games and me, I guess is the best way, because that's probably what I'm naming this. So I was originally introduced to the Souls-like game genre way back when I was in high school, like 2012 to 2014, like in that area. And during that time, I got introduced, but man, this game's not loading super well. I got introduced to Dark Souls 2 as my very first interaction into the Dark Souls universe. Which is ironic because I know everyone says, "Oh, you should have started with, Dark Souls 1. You know, it's the one that started it all." Oh, lag spike. Game just started. But you should have started with the first one. You should have got into it. Well, I started with Dark Souls 2, and that's how I first got introduced to Souls-like as a game type genre. And shortly after that, I hadn't even beaten the game at this point. My friends, after they realized that I was enjoying my time, they also got me as a gift. They got me Dark Souls 3 because that was where they believed the true fun in the multiplayer experience for a good starting when it comes to the Dark Souls game genre is to just enjoy Dark Souls 3, as it led to much stronger connectivity and all that. And since I enjoyed enjoyed number 2. I've played number 1, I've watched a lot of gameplay of number 1, but I've never beat number 1. It just was too clunky for me in the saddest form. Where's the door to this cage? But from that point on, I then proceeded to buy all sorts of different Souls-like games as they came around. Just this one I'm currently playing is actually the newest one, where I believe this is not Lords of the Fallen, although I do have Lords of the Fallen. I think this one is also Lords of the Fallen, but I think it's another game in that series. I got really close to beating, but I never actually beat that game. And yes, hand over the prison key. Right. But after interacting with the Souls genre, I've proceeded to kind of explore and interact more with the genre. And I'm not saying that I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm not a masochist. I can get frustrated with the games, just like everyone can. Oh, what the hell? I forgot I can jump. That's weird. It's just been a wild ride. The very first Souls-like game that I actually ended up beating in the entirety of my experience while playing this genre was Dark Souls 2, ironically. It truly was the very first. Well, my very first win was Dark Souls 2, and it was when I was playing with my friends that I named myself. What was it? I'm trying my best to remember this. I think it was. I named myself Beetleborg because at the time I was joking around about an old TV show I used to watch that was similar to Power Rangers called The Big Bad Beetleborgs. And it's genuinely a really stupid show. Like the whole not contest. What was it? Premise. There's the word. The whole premise of the show was basically some kids walked into a haunted mansion after reading reading a comic book about the Beetleborgs, who in their time they were like the Power Rangers that fought back evil and all that. Well, they went into this haunted mansion, and that's when they found a vampire, Frankenstein, the mummy. Like, they're running around scared out of their mind because, kids. And at one point, they ended up walking into, I think it was either the piano or the organ. I don't remember what instrument, but it was one of those two. It was kind of like one of those big things. They had it, and they released Flabbergaster, basically a genie, and then they ended up wishing... Whoa, this is an NPC.
So...
they ended up releasing Flabber, and then granted themselves... he said, I'll grant you one wish, and they wished to be the Beetleborgs from in the comic books. Not fully understanding their quest, he ends up bringing both all the cool powers and all that, but also the villains into their world. It's a whole thing. Anyways, I picked the name because that's just what we were talking about, having fun. I ended up finishing Dark Souls 2 while wearing the original, like, early game, the Ironclad Knights, but it's like the old Ironclad armor. So I looked like just a giant fucking turtle, so I was, like, jokingly called myself a Ninja Turtle the entire time. It was genuinely a very fun experience. It's really janky, but it has very much... I guess the main reason I'm bringing up this topic today is because there's a song that I heard way back when where it talks about how after playing Dark Souls 1, it has altered their way that a lot of people play games, or how they interact with them, because they've gotten so used to or so accustomed to not accustomed, but like it's revealed an itch that it's hard to scratch, as there are tons of games that are similar in the typing. Oh, that's a bow. Get rid of this. Ooh, she bleeds. Ow. And whew, and just heal. But yeah, there are tons of games in that genre that leads to, like, in this case, you get free wandering in an RPG-esque kind of world that leads to cool boss fights against enemies. Oh, where the fuck they go? And like, it's just a very fun experience because that allows for, like, to explore and kind of like build these cool characters and ideas. Aha, get dodged. And I don't know, it's just, ow. Well, now I'm bleeding. Oh, I'm dead. Alright. Well, oh no, I'm not. I forgot this game gives me a second life. Woo. Woo. And it was just more along those lines where, like, I've become more accustomed to wanting to play more of these type of games. It's hard to scratch the itch of a good Dark Souls-esque game. It's hard to really put into words. Oh, there. Now I'm double dead. Okay. Whamp whamp. Yeah, fade away into butterflies. But it's really hard to kind of fully put it into words. Like, I've enjoyed, like, I ended up beating Dark Souls 3, and then we ended up playing a whole bunch of different runs of, like, comic characters. Like, I remember playing a Protect the President playthrough where one person played as like someone important. Like I was playing as Frodo Baggins, and we pretended to have one of my friends was playing as a Legolas type character because we were able to pass down items and all that. The other person was trying to play as Aragon and trying to protect me and trying to get me through the game. We didn't get very far because we ended up stopping that run. But it was like one of my favorite things about the beautiful aspect of a lot of the Dark Souls genres is because it is that RPG aspect that allows for you to mess around and have these genuinely fun experiences that you can't really do or experience in a lot of other games. Like, you can't play a Call of Duty game and play a Protect the President. Well, I mean, technically there have been those kind of game modes, but it's not in the same retrospect where you're playing Protect the President, fighting a massive boss that's like 3 times your size, has a massive health pool, and all you're doing is sitting there with a little dinky little stick, and your friend has this massive sword. And like, that is in its genuineness such a fun like play style. Is like being able to experience the game in a new way that allows for just some of like the most wild shenanigans that you wouldn't normally get to experience in like the other games. Like, again, Call of Duty, like, it's a shooting game, matches are quick. It doesn't allow for you to have this hour-long or like even potentially week-long interaction that you can play with your friends and experience these really cool tales and journeys that are unique to you. No one else can really have that same experience unless they saw exactly how you guys set up your run, how you guys leveled up, and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the freedom, there are also like some limitations where, like, this game, for example, it's very different in the aspect like you have magics that you can co-op with your main stats. Like normal Dark Souls, they invented power stancing like as a weapon style, and this game actually took the whole idea of power stancing and allows you to power stance with whatever weapons you want. Like currently my character's running around with 2 spears because why not? I can equip them, I'm not over encumbered from it, and it just allows me to do these shenanigans. Oh, sorry, one's a staff. I genuinely thought it was a spear. Oh, it's because it's a type of pole arm. It's just called it. But yeah, like, I'm dual wielding a staff and a pole arm, and you want to know what? It feels good. Like, there's something bad. Oh no, boss fight, damn. I forgot about that. But, like, it allows for that freedom, and that freedom allows for you to build all sorts of cool characters and have these really fun experiences. Woo! I missed. Woo. But when it comes to Souls-like games in general, like, there's your traditional Souls-likes, you know, the ones that are made by Hideaki. I can't say his name all the time. I tried, immediately failed. But basically, from FromSoft, the people who make the Souls-like genre in general, like, they are unique in how they handle and how they created these worlds. But like, each one's a unique experience, and you can very clearly tell a FromSoft game when it's made compared to like the Off-Brand games. Like this game, yeah, it is not made by FromSoft, but it has a lot of the same, like, similar ideas. And that's where the fun, I think, is that, yeah. Oh no, oh no, oh no, heal. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ow. There. This boss sucks, kinda. Or, correction, I suck at fighting this boss. Ow! But if I had to pick one of my favorite besides Dark Souls 2, as Dark Souls 2 is like out of the actual FromSoft games itself, that one in particular is my favorite. Seconded only by Elden Ring, because Elden Ring is just basically Dark Souls 2 in the that's the right way of saying it. It's basically, it felt like the reimagining of the original Dark Souls 2, and bringing back a lot of the old features that I loved about that game, and a lot of the old features that a lot of people griped about, they fixed them and brought them back better, so that it was just a more enjoyable experience. I mean, look what happened with it. When Elden Ring came out, it hit the world by storm. People were loving it. They were eating it up. And it was cool because it allowed for me and my friends to be able to enjoy playing another not another Elden Ring, but another FromSoft game from the beginning. Like, it's not like I'm joining in after the game's already been out for a few years, kind of like how I did with Dark Souls 2, or even Dark Souls 3. Like, when I got Dark Souls 3, it had been out for, I think, 3 years. So, like, and the beautiful thing about these games is, like, they still have a community constantly playing. Like, I can still load up a Dark Souls 2 run and still get invaded by a random person, even though that game is nearly, God, I think it's almost 13 or 14 years old. Like, it's an old game. Not a lot. No. It might be. I don't know. It's an older game. That's for damn sure. It's been old enough that enough game, like 3 whole games have come from FromSoft in that time frame. So, like, it's falling behind in the years, but it still has a loving player base that still will play it and all that kind of stuff. This talk wasn't originally supposed to be about just glossing over how much I love Dark Souls 2. It's just a side effect of my interaction with this kind of game series, is that it is more my favorite game out of the series. So, like, I'm going to talk about it more, or a lot of similarities are going to pop up, and like I'll want to talk about it. But in the actuality, like, from a non-FromSoft game, or like a non-FromSoft developer, I think my favorite out of those, like, kind of like Souls-like genre-esque games, besides this one, I think my actual favorite, it has to be the Last Hero of Nostalgaia. It's more of a comedy, or like it's a joke game that also takes itself seriously, but doesn't at the same time. Oh no! Oh no! I went from one boss fight to potentially another. I'm not happy about this. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip that. Oh, I don't like this. Do not want. Alright. But... oh no! He stepped on me. But yeah, Last Hero of Nostalgaia, it doesn't take itself seriously. It genuinely just has fun with the idea. It pokes fun at games in general that go out through history. Like, there's an entire area that's dedicated to the old Ocarina of Time from Legend of Zelda. And now everything's not worded the same. Like, it's not actually called the Ocarina of Time Forest or anything like that. It is called, the thing was just called the Lost Woods. But, oh gosh, this guy sucks. Correction, I suck. Fighting him. But, it is one of those things where it has all these cool little items, armors, enemies that are all, like, inspired. You can clearly see that they are inspired by Ocarina of Time, and it's just cool because then you're able to kind of basically RPG in that same world for a bit. Like, they even have a section that is inspired by Minecraft, which that area is in the DLC, and it's rough, but it has a really cool feature which I thought was really cool. The game has a friends pass, like basically a friends pass, where your friend can your friend can basically download the game and, well, not owning it, and as long as, well, yeah, I can't remember if you both had to own it. That's something. But one of the cool things is that only the host needs to own the DLC, and then everyone can play it, kind of thing. Yeah, I knew I was gonna die, but it's fine. I still have my revive. Back again. Woo! But yeah, it allows for that fun. So it means that you don't need to have your friend also purchase the DLC so that you both can have the fun, which I think is cool. It allows for just more enjoyment in a game series that you both will possibly enjoy. As soon as this poison ticks, I'm dead. This sucks. Come on. No! So close. Alright. I got greedy. That's my own fault. But it is just a very fun game because it allows you to do a whole bunch of just fun hanging around with your friends. Now, and it's not like just because it's a joke game doesn't mean that it's easy. There are very much areas that are very difficult, but the bosses have some of the funnest moves, and like the actual main bosses you fight in that game are literally player archetypes from people like playing games. It's hard to word, but like the final boss you fight, he's based off of Mario. Like, he's designed by Mario. He literally sits on a throne of pipes and all that. Like, he's really cool. At least that's before you get into all the fun side areas. That's only if you were focusing like the main story, like, or at least your four great Iron Lords or Lords of Ash or whatnot. Like, only if you're going that route is it really that. But like, it allows for a lot of fun. You even talk with a narrator. Like, you have a narrator talking to you the entire time. And oh, I didn't realize that I could summon. I guess I will. You just take a beating for me. But like, it's a very, like, it doesn't really take itself seriously. You can find Samus's armor and all that kind of stuff and have fun. But one of the coolest features of that game, which is something I wish more games would do, is a lot of the items that you can find are like 2D, and then they have memories that you can unlock to unlock the full potential of an item. So similar to like how Dark Souls hides its story in small items or in like small interactions with players, or not players but like NPCs. The game hides some of the actual lore behind the memories of these items, and you can only, ow, this guy sucks. Again, I think it's just, oh no, no. I did not know there was a grab move. He's eating me. I don't like this. But yeah, it hides a lot of the lore of the game behind just being able to. That is not it. Woo. Fireball. But yeah, and in case you're not caring about the lore, or you don't want to do the fun thing of like remembering the items, then you are able to actually go and find Kirby, or a guy that looks like Kirby. I don't remember what his name is, but it's like something about the forgiver, like the person that helps forgive. Basically, he eats the memories so that they don't have to struggle about not remembering. I'm gonna die because of poison. Womp womp. But hey, I'm no longer poisoned. Congrats me.
Come to all is my child. Yes. Enter my embrace. Oh. May your flesh sustain my divinity. Bless you. Bless you.
Oh, the man we just killed is a man that went crazy eating bodies. Awesome. That's what you love to hear. But yeah, it's just a really fun game, and I'm not trying to spoil any more of that. It's just a fun experience that I recommend if you ever have like time with your friends. Pick that up. It's one with the labs, tons of content and just fun interactions and fun stories. Like reading some of the lore that is in the items. It's just so fun with what they do as they try to talk through things. It's genuinely fun. But like I've gone into like different types or different genres within the subcategory of Souls-like, because Souls-like just ends up becoming the descriptor or the tag that follows a hard game in quotation marks. But like there's a YouTuber that I occasionally watch called the Iron Pineapple who that's just a respawn thing. Who does like Souls game dumpster diving. Basically, he goes on to Steam and just finds games that are quote-unquote Souls-likes. And he tries them out, sees if they're good or anything like that. And it's just things like that I've occasionally looked at and picked them up. There are some that he's never touched that are closer to Metroidvanias, which are some of the ones that I enjoy a lot, actually. I have to traverse. Oh, no, wrong. Here it is. Need it off myself so I can traverse the water. I had to commit sewer slide. Not really. But this is one of the cool things that this game does is you actually have both realities, like the real life and then the land of the dead. And you, being a Templar, you kind of traverse the two. Or, correction, this Black Lantern allows you to come back to life, but they went a step further and went for, like, you actually have to use it to traverse certain sections by revealing hidden paths and all that kind of stuff that only exists in the land of the dead. And vice versa, only sections of land that exist during, when you're alive. Yeah, that looked like a body. Ow. Poison resistance. Who's shooting me? A stinker. But it's just one of the cool things that exist here. Activate this vestige so I can come back to the mortal realm. But yeah, like one of the ones I picked up, if you guys are really if you really enjoy Metroidvania, it is a 2D side scroller Metroidvania called Death's Gambit. And it's such a cool concept for a game. And the entire time, Death's talking to you. Every time you die and all that kind of stuff, you get a little bit more lore or even interaction with Death as he brings you back to life. And it's such a cool game, and you're basically trying to free your soul from this perpetual cycle. And Death's there talking to you, trying to help you finish your quest. But it's a one of the more difficult games, just for the simple fact that it's hard to really plan out where you're going, as in Metroidvanias you're kind of just exploring the maps and figuring it all out as you go. Here's a man behind that door. I don't like him. I missed. Missed. Oh, how come I can hit him half the time? But when it comes to the entirety of Souls-like genres, I'm a huge fan of them, but it's not to the part where it doesn't open from this side. But not to the part where it's the only thing I play. It was very much one of those. It's like a gaming itch or urge that needs to be scratched. I'll sit there, talk about, or talk to my friends, hey, you guys want to play one? And they're like, no, not really. And I just sit there, okay, and just sit there and just let the itch slowly get bigger and bigger until I disappear for about a week, just playing a Souls-like game from my library. I've picked up a whole bunch of them. One of the cool, one of my favorite things that they do are the ones that take on different, or take the Souls-like genre and take a different approach at it. So it's not just the same medieval world that's gone into ruin like the traditional Dark Souls kind of thing has done. But like, to put in perspective, like another good one that I still haven't finished, but I've, mainly because I was playing through it with another buddy of mine, we got it together thinking that it was multiplayer. We didn't really read the things, we were kind of dumb at the time. But it's called The Surge, which is such a cool concept. The game starts off with you basically in a wheelchair, because your character can't walk or anything like that, and you're ending up going to this facility to basically you're getting hired into the workforce, and they're getting you an exoskeleton. Basically, you're getting this armor attachment, these robot arms and legs that allows you to walk again. And while you're getting the implants and getting your arms and legs and all that kind of stuff so you can walk again, during the process, something goes wrong with all of these suits and the robots that are all a part of this company worldwide. So now a lot of people died that were in these things because the chips that people used to pilot them would short circuit and kill the people inside them. And it's just such a cool concept, because here you are out of surgery now with the power suit and all that kind of stuff, and everyone that should be explaining on how you're supposed to be handling your job or what you're supposed to be doing is now dead. And correction, they're not just dead, they're trying to kill you. These shambling corpses in these power armors that also want to kill you are now chasing you down. And like, sometimes you're fighting corpses that don't even have like full bodies. Like sometimes you're fighting a robot suit that's missing its head because it's dead, but the suit itself still wants to kill you. And it's such a cool concept to me, and it was such a fun game. But it was one of those games that, because I was playing with my friend, we didn't want to progress without the other one. So it ended up getting to these situations that were kind of like along the lines where, hey, I just beat this boss. They're like, oh, well, don't continue until I beat it. And then you're left sitting around waiting for a while. And then they end up putting down the game because it's too difficult, or they just can't beat the boss. You just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. Like, there's only so much that you can grind of a game. Or enemies while you wait. You don't want to get too strong without your friend. Like, I don't recommend playing Souls games like that, where you are waiting for a friend to beat a boss so you can go beat the next boss or explore the next region kind of thing. Whilst it is fun to enjoy and experience a game, it's just not a fun way to experience a Souls-like in the aspect that you have to constantly put down the game and then possibly... Oh! How'd you get here, sir? Constantly trying to figure out when you get to experience the game again. So you'll set it down for a while, waiting for your friend to come home from work to make progress, and they're like, oh, I didn't end up making progress because I wanted to play, I don't know, Terraria at the time. Nothing against Terraria, it's just that's just the game that came to my mind at this point in time. It is very much just you're bending to the whims of another, which can make experiencing a Souls-like game really rough. That's why if you're playing with one where you're playing through together, oh, how do I get up there? Yeah, it didn't work. Well, it makes it just difficult to experience. Well, I picked up The Surge, and then I picked up The Surge 2, which is the sequel. And so apparently, at some point, you make it through the game. I know that much, at least, as a mini spoiler to myself. But I'm planning on eventually going back and actually beating it. Maybe starting from scratch so I can remember everything, experience the story all together in one. There are just very clear things I remember, like certain enemy types that were just a female dog, about where it was just they should not hit as hard as they do, and they should not be in as early of a game as they are, kind of thing. Why is it sending me? I just like this. These. But Yeah, this is very much a series that I can go back to over and over again. Like, they are difficult, they are challenging, but I guess the biggest thing about Souls-like games that I enjoy is that it's rewarding. After struggling with a boss for so long, you can finally get that satisfaction of putting the guy that has killed you like 5, 10, 28 times, 30 times, depending on how bad it was. Like, finally being able to put them in their place, in the ground, and just stand on their corpse and be like, I did it. I finally killed that bastard. And just being able to truly get that satisfaction, that feeling of, haha, that's right. Those moments after you finally learned everything that boss had to offer you, and then just kick it. Oh, I'm dead now. What the hell? What are those? Well, I can go and attack it now. Yeah. But yeah, like learning an enemy's attack pattern so that you know how to perfectly counter it. Like that, slowly learning an enemy so you can perfectly best it in whatever way it comes towards you. That is one of the cool things that I truly enjoy about these game archetypes. Because, like, it's just satisfying knowing that you're making progress. Even if you are losing, progress is still being made because you're still learning it. And I feel like a lot of people understood that more once they got a taste of Elden Ring, because that game is another one of those games where there were some bosses that you had to try a few times just so that you can understand how it works. And once you figured out where's the best spot to dodge that attack, or like to best, like this is the perfect time to parry and all that kind of stuff, a boss, it can lead to one of the most satisfying parries and all that kind of stuff, to know that you're just getting better. Okay, these enemies, worst thing ever created, need to die. And it's literally, they're not like the ones in games that I was talking about where they just shouldn't exist at the areas they are. They should exist here. They gave me poison resistant potions before coming here. I just don't like them. They attack way too often for a ranged unit. That's all I'm saying. But it is very much cool just to experience the worlds that are created, because for me personally, I love watching like those YouTube videos or like watching anime and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to
my skin against if I let him rein, as you can stupid back, but he was in a mercenary's gut. Wilmot wanted protection. He thought there was, but the coward rat couldn't take me to the tree now. So looks like my blade's for hire again.
Okay. I don't know how to fix it here, but all right. I know I should be reading it, but I'm also just trying to talk to you guys. I'm not trying to fully immerse myself in this game, because this is one of those games that I'm playing through with a friend, but at the same time they're taking forever, so I have a single player character as well, which has its benefits and its drawbacks. Like, I'm experiencing the game a second time, having to play through a second time, but I'm at least playing through it with a different kit. I'm not using the same attack style. Like, the dual spears is not something that I did last time. My last one, I am using a hammer, and I think, no, I'm using a hammer and a dagger. So I have quick riposte after doing a long range hit. It was cool, very fun, so fun in fact. Oh no! Oh no! Oh gosh! Moth hurt. Mothra! Does fire work on you? Oh god. Yes it does. Not nearly as much as I'd like it to. There it is. I really dislike those things. So much so. Hey, look, loot. That was totally not worth it, to be honest. But I think just like exploring new worlds and like seeing how people envisioned a world like creation. It's one of the coolest things to me. Like that's why I enjoy watching anime, because especially I know it's stupid, but like the power fantasies that come from like isekais, not necessarily just like the power fantasy that is with it. For me, oftentimes it's just the seeing the world through the eyes of the creators and understand how they build the magic system, or how, like what's the lore behind the like how they're having the government work and all that kind of stuff. Like it's fun seeing them build these worlds, because I like playing D&D with my friends, but it's to the same point where like I love creating worlds, and like growing up I used to create these worlds to play with, and make believe with, like toys that, as a kid would do. Well, later on in high school, I would talk with my friend Jeremy, and we would, like formulate different enemies to fight in a Minecraft server that we had, where we would create monsters for heroes to fight, and someone would play the monster. It was a really fun thing, like constantly creating these things, and like to be able to experience, well, not experience, but to like, what's the right word here? Hold on. Emerge from the oven. To express my creativity with my friends. I think that's the proper word. And just truly, be a kid. But, well, not necessarily a kid, but in like high school, it was like to create these worlds and all that for us to collectively enjoy, like a world to enjoy. And that's where I slowly got into Dungeons and Dragons, which is another aspect of like Souls-like. I think that's part of the reason. Oh, I thought that I just killed that. Yeah, it farted. But like the world's creating and building a character in this fantasy setting that is of the Dark Souls world, I think that's part of it, of why I enjoy this, like these types of games, is it kind of allows me to play a game through a character that I create. I can give him a cool backstory in my head, all the fun stuff that goes with like D&D. But for me, D&D is not, it's not true. Like the, oh god, I don't have any heals. That's not a good sign. Bad play, Doctor. But I think, what's the better wording here? Oh, yeah, I want this. I want this one so badly. Okay. Come on. Come on. Oh, I don't have any more seeds. I thought it was just fighting me. That's unfortunate. I would really like to have a seed, so I could make a bonfire. That's unfortunate. Well, time to suffer, I guess. But yeah, like D&D, especially like traditional D&D, has never been my cup of tea, because I understand the enjoyment that comes with it, but for me it's too slow. Like, it's not really telling a story. It's, let's spend 12 hours in this fight encounter because everyone's too strong, so I have to balance it around you guys being able to get your fulfillment of smacking things that need to be smacked in the most cool, epic way that you think, whilst also making it so that it's at least a challenging fight. Like, I understand the benefits of both. Oh, that sucks. But I don't know. My friends, when we played, we followed. What was it? No, we used the Dungeon World system. So it was more along the lines of, like, a lot of it was just storytelling, and then you'd roll to make sure things happen. And like oftentimes, like, yeah, you hit the guy, but tell me how. And it's a little bit more forced role play, but it was a little bit more along the lines where it allowed you to tell stories with your friends, and not having to carry, or not carry, but care so much about how the dice rolls truly affected gameplay. And, well, no, they did affect gameplay. Didn't have to worry about being able to hit an enemy, if that makes sense. You could just tell me that you hit the enemy, but I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna roll dice to see how well you hit it, but not just like in dealing damage, but more along the lines like, did it happen as epically as you said it did? And, like, the whole nother story. But, oh god, another butterfly. Fuck the butterfly. Oh, it sounds like Mikhail got seared too. Yeah, smacked it. But, oh, that's not ominous at all the floating people. And I'm not here for that, I'll be honest. But, I guess, yeah, I think that might be the reason more why I enjoy Souls-like games as much. Is because of that freedom that allows for you to share your creativity and experience a world. Oh gosh. Why do you have a name? I don't like that. I really don't like that. Now I like it because he's dead. Oh, that was the guy that got killed. Oh, that's why I had a name. So some guy named Ouroboros died, and that was the guy that did it. That is one of the cool things about this game. This one in particular, it has more interaction in the form of, yeah, you can invade people, or the thing that killed you can invade other people, and then you can avenge that person by killing the thing that killed them. And like, that's just a fun little interaction that I wish more games would allow. Like some well, not PvE, but like interaction with the community through different methods, so you're not always forced to only enjoy it by only summoning a friend and playing through a game that way, or only invading and crushing the hopes and dreams of some random person that maybe just got off the clock. Because sometimes, oh, I just banished the frog to the down below. You know, like, sometimes it's just nice to just kill things after a very stressful day, you know? Like, that's oftentimes why I used to play, like, I would come home and just play, like, a game like Warframe, where I would just sit there and kill things, or just do exterminate missions, just because it was fun to kill things and de-stress. Do the things that you can't do in real life to AI. Well, you know, it's a form of stress relief. Probably not the best stress relief, but, you know, all the same. It's a better way of coping than exacting it on the world. But I feel like I'm walking into a boss fight. I really... Please? I don't have any. I'm so sad. Oh yeah, this is a boss fight. I have no heals. I don't want to be here. This is some malarkey, man. Make the long run back. But yeah, I don't know. No, like there are a lot of things in this. There's stuff down there. Oh. I think there's a lot of benefits to other game genres and all that, but when it comes to Souls-like, I think it's, if I had to narrow it down to just a few words, I think it's the freedom of being able to play a character that you created with your friends, or even just by yourself. Like, maybe you had a really cool character idea for a D&D character with your friends, but you never... But you never really got a chance to play it because, like, your friends just, it doesn't match with the storyline or whatnot. It allows you, if it's within practical reason, I should say, or not practical reason, but practicality, to do it in some games. It allows you to really have some fun. And that's an experience you can't really experience in a lot of other game genres. Unless you know how to code and are really good, or you know a friend that can code very well. Bug. Like, it's just something that you can't do easily. And I think Souls-like games in general offer a more intuitive way to experience those same storylines that you want. Maybe not perfectly, but in a semi-closed environment that allows you to at least some freedom into this without actually... Oh, I'm poisoned. I'm dead now. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Maybe I can get to a safe point in time. Quickly! 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 Somewhere I know! Please! Ah, I didn't make it. Womp womp. There's probably a path right there, too. Sad. Well, yeah, it's just more of a contained experience to replay some of those tales or those characters that you've always wanted. And I think that is truly why I enjoy them. I may not be the best at these games, be it the Metroidvania types, be it just traditional Dark Souls. Maybe it's because I don't like playing the big, heavy sword wielders like strength builds. Like, I understand their beauty, I guess beauty is the right word. I understand the desire, or not necessarily the desire. Ow, that thing has range. What is the right word? The allure, there's the word. The allure of it. I understand why people like using the big two-handed great swords, because you can just crunch the bones of the small person behind you. Like, there's a really cool power fantasy. Oh! That man didn't want to talk to me no more. He's like, yeah, shut up. Yeah, that's right. Suck it. Like, I understand why. But to me, I've always enjoyed playing it more wide. Like, there's no easy way to describe it. Like, I don't min-max, or what's the term here? I don't like max one single stat. I oftentimes spread myself or throw a wide net, so I can do a little bit of everything. I can use most weapons, but I'm not like max optimization of a weapon. I'm not like 60 strength, 5 dex, or anything like that. I enjoy playing the game so that I can, when I find that cool new looking sword, I can use said cool new looking sword, and would not have to throw 40 levels just to try it out and find out, yeah, you know, I don't like its fight style. It's just not me. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Just like, I enjoy being able to just use what I want when I want. Now, it does make games more these games more difficult, because they expect you to be a little bit more along the lines of single statting. I'm just gonna run away. I don't need to fight them. Suck it, Toad. No! I healed. Apparently I didn't heal. It's fine. This is fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. Oh! But yeah, like, being able to use whatever, it allows me to do some shenanigans that some of my other friends who min-max into other things can. Like, my friend Jeremy, when he plays a lot of these kind of types of games, he ends up trying to play the Omni-Mage, where he does everything. Makes it so that he can cast every spell and everything like that. I'm just not dealing with that. I'm taking my thing and running. I need to go pick up all my souls. But it's... I think what he does is really cool, but it's always funny because when he tries, like when you watch him play or play his character, he'll always have the correct spell for, or like elemental weakness for a boss. Sorry. Always have the correct elemental weakness for a boss, but when something gets into melee combat, he has a tiny stick that does like no damage. So as soon as he runs out of magic, he's just kind of done. In the easiest terms, like he's donezoed. There's nothing he can do to fix it. No, no. I just got womboed. No, I don't want to be in the corner. I don't like this guy. I don't like butterflies. What? No! I don't want to be here! This is the true scary part about some of these games, is that sometimes the basic enemies can really kick your butt. And there's just really nothing you can do about it. Ooh, what's over here? I hope this isn't a boss fight. But yeah, like it makes it so that getting good at the game can feel super rewarding. Kinda.
Here you are again. If having your eyes open to the Umbral Realm hasn't driven you mad yet, although you never really get used to it, learn to balance and ignore the whispers telling you to jump. I made a mistake.
Ooh, sorry. Moved my, took a sip of my water and almost knocked you over. Ooh, glad I didn't though. No, aww. Wow, the fact that I was so close to him. And there's no spot for my vestige. Ah, this sucks. It's so far away. But I guess is the word of the day, because I keep saying and but. I just can't get away with not saying that right now. I'm sorry. I wish I could, because then making conversations is easier at that point. I don't know. I enjoy these weapons, or not weapons, but like I enjoy these game series, and I think that everyone should give them a try. I don't think that they are everyone's cup of tea. Like I've managed to convince my fiance, almost wife, to play them. Like to give them a try and play them, and they're very much. We ended up almost completely beating Ashen. The final boss, no matter how many times we tried, we just couldn't. Oh no. Ooh, oh, okay. Well, I'm dead now. I didn't know that boulders insta-killed. Good to know. This is knowledge. But I managed to convince her to try out some different Souls-like ones that didn't seem too difficult. Like, no, I didn't throw her into Dark Souls, because some of those bosses, no matter which game you play, they are rough, to say the least. But that's not saying that I don't like them. I'm just saying, like, especially with like Dark Souls 2, some of the hitboxes are a little jank. But when it comes to when it comes to like games I started off on, I originally started off on Ashen because it's a lighter Souls-like experience. There's the right word. It's a lighter Souls-like experience due to the fact that oh no, I think I did wrong by taking this path. 1 second, honey. I cannot speak at this point in time. Yeah, I saw. But yeah, we originally started off playing Ashen, the two of us, and it slowly got her into trying the Souls-like experience. The one that we were currently playing through after I beat it the first time is Last Hero of Nostalgaia. Yes, I know we're still playing it. We haven't finished it. Just because you just haven't wanted to play games. But That is the one that we're currently playing through. And we're having a lot of fun in the grand. No, zombie. In the grand scheme, and slowly but surely, I will slowly introduce her to more and more of these games, in the hopes that I can truly find the Souls-like that is perfect for her. Because even though we basically beat Ashen when we played it, the final boss, no matter how many different tries, we expunged every possible option. We just couldn't beat it together. And solo was another joke, because something that moves that fast should not be alive or legal. I'm going the wrong way. I got distracted because the wife has arrived. I need to get all my souls. Good night, hon. Mwah. But it is like trying to find the perfect game. It's hard for her, because there are very much times when she gets super frustrated with a boss. Like, we could give a boss 3 or 4 tries and then that would be it for the day, as she feels like there can't make any progress because something's not working, kind of thing. And for me, I can handle retrying a boss many times, because I'm not quick to frustrate. But you were busy playing with your brother. Okay, well, I will relay that, since you're speaking too quiet for the mic to pick up. She said that, yes, she does occasionally get frustrated with the games sooner than other people, but when she gets into the mood to want to play again, oftentimes later in the day, it's closer to when she has to go to bed because of work and all that, so then she ends up not going back to play. At least that's what she says. I feel like she just waits too long to get back into the game. That's me, though. But it is very much trying to find the perfect Souls. Like, it's not an easy thing. I don't like that this is a dead-only path. Alright, well, one life it is. Run past it all, because I don't want to deal with it. But it is very much a... Trying to find the right one is hard. There's no perfect one to start off on. Like, theoretically, the one I started off on was, like, one of the worst ones to truly start off with, how brutal Dark Souls 2 is. Because every time you die while fighting a boss, or just in general, your max health decreases. And I don't know about you, but that's kind of rough when it comes to trying to play a Dark Souls game. Like, hey, I couldn't beat it originally with a full health bar. Let's take 10% of that health bar away. Maybe then you can beat it. And like that, what a wild concept is all I'm saying. Like, there was such a wild concept for a Souls-like game to decrease the max health of the player every time they died, because maybe, just maybe, are the rocks gone? Well, that's good. It looks like the cheesy attack only happens once. Damn. Why are there small things falling? But yeah, it's hard to find the perfect one. For me, it was just enough experience of exploring the new digital worlds. No. I don't like those things. I don't know why there's so many of them. Oh, they're these things? The toads turn into the balls? That is evil. This game's evil. I don't want to kill the toads. But, yeah, like, in all honesty, I think probably if you were looking for a good starting Souls-like game, I think, if I had to truly pick one to say, like, if you want to get into the genre, this is the be-all end-all starter. That is a tough one, mainly because each game is clearly built differently, and like even these offshoot games, a lot of them feel different. Oh, what the hell? Oh, this is one of those guys you got hit from the butt. Alright. 3 hits and then dodge. Understood. Ooh. Oh, I don't get a second life in this fight either. I don't like this. Hit the small face in the center. Damn. Oh no, it has homing rockets. But it is very much one of those. It's shooting worms actually. Ew. Oh gosh, that hurt. Worms. Oh, okay. Worms just hurt in general. And they have my movement speed? What is this? I'm dying to this fight. Because there's nothing I can do here. Maybe if I burn it, this will solve this problem. No. No. Worm! Well, that's it. Womp womp. Okay, so I now know how I have to fight him. But this is also probably where I'm going to truly probably put down this. Well, not put down this game, but put down this episode of the podcast. Because I feel like I'm just going to ramble around into circles. Because this one, I'm not really having a co-host to talk to or be a speech board to bounce topic ideas off of, or like, I'm talking to you guys, and I'm not talking to someone else. I'm not talking at someone. I'm technically talking at you, but it's not like no one's keeping me on track. This is purely me just rambling about a game genre that I enjoy and wish more people would genuinely give a chance. And hell, even picking up just a simple game like I didn't really get to say what one I thought would be best as a starter. Let me get back to that actually. One of the games I would honestly recommend as a good starter, so that you get a experience of a Souls-like without all of the stress of a Souls-like, because it doesn't take itself seriously. I think Last Hero of Nostalgaia or Ashen are honestly, ironically, yes, those are the same ones I started my kill off on, but those ones I feel are perfect for getting you into the genre without having to deal with like invasions or any of that kind of stuff. It's more of a PvE experience where you get to enjoy just going around looking like a little dude, maybe in some funky clothes, and just whacking things. Like the truest basic form of just having fun in an RPG that you get to level and build yourself. I guess in reality, I think Ashen's probably the better of the two if I had to pick one for you to start on. Only because unless you truly know how these systems work, like endurance, strength, agility, all that kind of stuff. Because oftentimes each of these games, including these offshoot clones, have their own variation of the system and how they call them, or like what names they give. Normally, increase stat makes big number go up, or makes small number go up. Kind of, each one has its own unique system that it oftentimes will use. And when it comes to the Last Hero of Nostalgaia, it is a system that everything's called like pixels or glitch because you are technically a hero in a virtual world, and it's all game logic. And it takes the whole idea of like, hey, you're playing a video game to the next like literal step. Like, yeah, you are playing a video game as the video game hero in a video game world. Now, it's a very good game, and I think it's very fun. But to me personally, I don't feel like that it's necessarily perfect unless you know how these systems work prior. That because of how they reword everything and what they've called them all, I don't feel like there it is, that it's necessarily a good start. But when it comes to just the simplicity and fun, especially if you have a friend you want to play through a game with that's just more PvE experience, you should try out Ashen. It is a great game. I know that a lot of people have played through it or like have talked about it when it originally came out. It was a really cool concept where you can just literally walk and then occasionally see another player just walk into your world, and then now you're co-oping unless you turned off the settings, so then you're not co-oping. And it's just like that freedom to really do what you wished. That allowed for some of the made for some fun interactions. You could always try summoning your friends and all that, having unique worlds. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Oh, I have to fight it in this mode? Oh, this is... This game's mean. But I feel like being forced to fight a boss in dead mode, I guess that's fair. Alright. I guess we will attempt to do this fight once more. Ooh. And then by the end of it, that's probably where I will truly end this podcast episode. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I know it's only been 2 episodes, just the pilot, which is me testing the waters for see how I wanted this thing to truly work. And then this one, which is just me rambling about a single game genre that I've enjoyed and come to really appreciate how it's altered how I play games. I will say this, it has made it so that I am much more... Oh, do I need this mana? Oh man, it really does not give a lot of mana. Ow. Ow. Sanguinix. I don't like this guy. Constantly being repelled every time I hit is a little annoying. Not gonna lie. Yeah, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys could just leave a comment about something like your views on Souls-like, or what you think is better, or a better starting game, like absolutely. Leave your comment below. Just let me know. This is literally a podcast that I'm new to this in every form. I'm trying to have gameplay going on in the background, so it's kind of like a traditional YouTube video in that form. But I figured a lot of people like watching like YouTube shorts because, you know, we've all kind of had our attention spans reduced due to Facebook shorts or YouTube shorts or even TikTok. This allows for both commentary to be talked about, but also the gameplay. Like, it's just something to just have going on in the background. It won't always be something action-packed like this. Sometimes it might be something more chill, like, ironically, Viscera Cleanup Detail. It is, for such a stupidly simple game of just cleaning, it is a fun game to play with friends. Because you get to... Man, I really just did that without really even trying. I wasn't even focusing. I was just smacking. But for a game that doesn't even have a way to really hurt each other or like shenaniganize your friends, it has a lot of ways to anger your friends by like making bigger messes, and it's genuinely fun. If you guys think that that's too dull of a game to have in the background, we can always switch it up. I'm open for talking and communication on this because I know sometimes people who are in the background are looking just for something simple, something more entertaining in the form of like action, like maybe you want us to play a shooter game in the background or something like that. Just leave a comment, let me know. I don't know what this guy is, but he's dead now. Once I get to a save location, I think I'll call it. Thank you guys for coming to the Sigil Bearers Tavern of Thoughts, and maybe next week we'll have a better thought that might be more up your alley. You never know. And actually, if you have some other things you would like us to talk about, hear my views or my friends' views on certain things, just leave a comment, let me know. And if it's something that I think is genuinely good that a lot of people would like to hear about, yeah, I will gladly. Where'd that thing go? I'll add it to the pool of random topics that we have. Well, I say random, but there are ones that me and my friends have created that we think would be fun to talk about and to really just get thorough, in-depth conversations, thought-provoking. We have them all set up, all that, so that we can. The problem is there were so many, so we're like, let's make a wheel to spin to make things a little easier on making the final decision of what we should do. I think this is what I'm looking for. Because I think this leads right to the bonfire. But actually it might not, but if you guys, like I said, if you guys have any ideas for ideas that you want us to talk about, or like games you'd like to see us play in the background, just drop a comment down below, and we might potentially do it in the next episode, or even potentially play it if we happen to have the game or even get around to owning it ourselves. I think that is the letter I was looking for. Let's go. Yes, it was. Awesome. Now, bam, there we go. Bonfire. Not lit, grown. Grown, I think, is the right. I don't really know. I don't want to get into the details of that. That's a whole other fun aspect. But I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.